This is Audrey. There are two things, one she did for me and two about her that led me to be who I am today. I remember the story she would tell me about a boy with a magical box who would travel anywhere in the world. Whenever she told me these stories, I would be whisked away to different places and have different experiences. I remember often when the box would take me back home, I would ask her if I could stay in the box and go somewhere else. I think these adventures, Grandma, led me to my curiosity about the world, my enjoyment of travel, visiting new places, and seeing new things. I will always remember Grandma sitting by my bed at night, telling me these stories and what the time with her meant, and the enjoyment I think we both had. And that's the theme, not only what she gave, but her own enjoyment in giving it. Audrey says, I think it's very safe to say that I would not be trying to change the world if it weren't for Grandma. Her passion for civil rights and social justice were tremendous, and I am very proud of the work I'm doing, and I know she was very proud as well, and I only hope that because of her influence on my parents and then me, that my work will make a difference in the world. And we have a wet noodle from Adria as well. And Kia writes, my grandmother's influence always seemed to be that the simplest of choices was usually the right choice. Because of her influence, I have dedicated my career to public health and helping those in need around the globe. And this from Rashad, Marcia's son. But perhaps of most relevance to me was Bubby's spectacular love of being a grandmother. She didn't just love being a grandmother, but she was good at it. I remember going to her condo and watching a video featuring the legends of Anansi, an African spider god. That helped inspire my love of mythology from many cultures. Later, when she lived with us, I remember all the times I would sheepishly knock on her door after having missed the school bus, and when we would drive to the next stop, or sometimes all the way to school, but she never complained. She relished the time we spent together. Once we beat the bus to the bus stop, but we were so distracted by playing tic-tac-toe in the fogged-up windshield that we didn't even know the bus had come and gone. For a country girl from Paducah, Kentucky, she certainly managed to get around. She traveled to distant places, including Sri Lanka, Pakistan, China, wherever she had friends or a relative. There is a straight line from her embrace of the unknown to my work in the Middle East, my love of traveling. Can you just see this woman sitting around a fire, throwing minerals which spark it with different colors? I envision this woman as a true elder, the one who not only carves the way for others, but then lights the path, not by saying, look, this is what I did, but by revealing her passion wholeheartedly with such delight that one could not help but follow. Besides her stories, which wove carpet rides on which to fly, she fed us. She fed us with wonderful food, and in so doing, we wanted to feed her back. Her cousins Evie Martin, who visited every week, and her children's spouse, Barbara and Gordon, who brought delectable home-cooked meals on a weekly basis. And Marilyn and Martin, who also flew in from Massachusetts to be here.
Judy,
I have them later down. They flew in from Massachusetts. This is always a tricky part. Make sure you don't miss anybody. Thank you. So many stories of people she fought for, in particular, Ceil, Marcia's brother-in-law, who lived with Ceil for 6 months while she worked to get him licensed as a doctor in the United States after he came here from Pakistan. For Ceil, friends became family, and family, including in-laws, also were friends. Toby and Marcia told me of their 3 brothers who were here today with their wives, Ed and Sue, Tom and Song, Bob and Virginia. And if you don't know these fine men who joined their family, they were the children of May Wong, their father's co-worker. Joy, Marcia's friend, whose mom then later became Ceil's very close friend. Nadine and her son Sean, a cousin on her father's side. And Nadine and her mother Shirley also became friends. So we have this notion of she was connected to multi-generations of family who really connected to her. There were Miriam and Marvin Tavlin, Ray Mitchell and Tilly DeRusha, and grandson Joey, Maria and Alex Reza, and Anita Robinson's mom's good friends in Los Angeles. And Eleanor, a friend of Toby's, who knew Ceil for almost 50 years and was instrumental in helping Ceil to make Jewish Home for the Aging her home. Before the service today, Ceil's family partook in a ritual as old as time. They each tore a ribbon that they'll wear today and maybe for the next week. The ritual of tearing is as old as the cloth itself. It's a ritual which actually gives us the ability to feel our hearts tear. If you've never torn a piece of cloth, I encourage you to try it. The sound, the feel of the cloth ripping, the power in your hands. But here's a second part of the ritual, perhaps a bit more unknown. At the end of the first week of mourning, the family is asked to sew the tear, leaving the bottom unsewn. It becomes a visual sign of the hearts of our ability to heal, but being changed forever by the loss. And Marcia also said that even if you were to sew up the entire piece of ribbon, you would still see that the ribbon is no longer itself. And it reminded me of when you have a scar. Yes, the skin heals, but that part of the skin is not quite as supple, does not pull. But it's those scars that become our shield of life, right? I got this one when I was 5, I got this one when I was 12. Those tears become the shield of our life. And I don't think for a moment that Ceil wanted to protect her children, but to show them the way to live in the world with the tears in their cloth, to show them the tears that existed in the world around them, not to shield them from those tears, but to show them and those people that she loved how to go and sew those tears so that for generations to follow, they would know the tears were there, but they wouldn't fall from the rips.